sitting it out. Gee, they'll have him against the Saints next week, wouldn't they?
It was going to be interesting to see how the Dogs win in those contested and clearance situations, and they've you got to say they've passed with flying colours.
John Cock did well there. He had to take the chance, and then Cooney to push him out of the way. Davis tapping towards McLeod, and out of play. So not the result the Crows were looking for. A 50-point defeat, which is close to their average. Have been getting beaten by an average of around 7 goals, so that gets worse after tonight. But a couple of maybe good signs with Tippett particularly. There's another running bounce. Rutten, but out wide to Edwards, and then back inboard to Vince, and that heard the umpire. Marriage, Cook just a bit untidy. Well done though in the end. And then Douglas to Doughty to McLeod, and then McLeod normally good here, and that's a beauty. Well, Tippett didn't control it in the end. Thought he had it. Everett, Tippett, good second effort. Williams goes back.
Here's Ackermanis, 20 possessions for Acker. Kicks it beyond the wing, down towards half forward. Cooney coming up for 25. A centering kick over the head of Roughead, taken by Vince. He's been a good player. Goes in short. Porplesia. Van Berlo inside the forward 50. The numbers favour the Dogs. Addison missed it initially. John Siracusa just chips it across half back, taken by Lake.
They really look like they're labouring, Lee, at the moment. I think the Crows, they're sort of, you know, the intensity's obviously not there, but you hate to say, they look underdone.
Well, the Dogs disappointing last week, and Lee made the point before the game. I think the result flattered them last week, so they needed this win too. They're 3 from 5 now, and it sets up a big Friday night game, as we've heard, next week. There's the siren. Dogs win. And the Crows, a lot of people expecting to be a powerhouse this season, are winless. 18-13, 121 to 10-12, 72. All Bulldogs.
And Ryan, after a slow start, that was a good effort from the Bulldogs tonight.
Yeah, it was. We were challenged through the week by Rodney to put the pressure on, and we did that tonight.
Is that part of the game plan when you play a side like Adelaide, who likes to handball the ball as much as they can, that you've just got to get onto them and pressure every possession?
Yeah, that was the plan. We knew they liked to run it out with hands and just keep pushing up on them and put them under pressure, and that's what the boys did tonight. It was fantastic.
Well, tell us, you said Rocker put you under the pump during the week. What sort of things did he talk about?
Just the pressure that was missing for the last 3 weeks, and he said just to go at him and put the ball carrier under pressure, so that's what we did.
Would you say that this is close to the best performance the side's put together this year?
Oh, definitely, yeah. We set ourselves for this one, and it was fantastic.
And what about your performance tonight? I mean, it was a feature of this game. You're running and you're kicking. Was that as good as you think you've played so far this year?
It's the best I've felt for a while, and had a really good pre-season, so just glad to get a kick.
Well done tonight.
Got plenty of those, didn't he, Ryan Griffin tonight? 17 of them. Barry Hall did well. He has 5 goals. He's made a major contribution early in the season. He's got 19 so far in 5. And as we go back to Tim with one of the stars from tonight, Tim.
Well, gee, you got to a terrific start tonight. You personally, your first half of football was wonderful. I just wonder whether or not Rocket had put a little bit of acid on you during the week, given that Bordy was going to be out of the side.
Yeah, I think it put a bit of acid on us all after last week. We were terrible. It was probably the worst performance we've had with Rocket at the helm. And as you said, Bordy was out, and he's probably one of our better players. So someone had to step up, and it was good to get some midfield time and get a bit of the footy.
Your pre-season form was fantastic as a club, but you just haven't been able to capture that in the other games. What do you put that down to?
I don't know. It's a hard question, but I think tonight we brought a bit of that back with our tackle intensity and stuff like that. So hopefully we're on the way up. We had some big meetings on Monday and some home truths and stuff like that, but hopefully we're on the path up now and got a massive game next week against St Kilda. And good to have the skipper back in the side, and also Acker tonight. He didn't miss much, did he? Jono, and Acker was fantastic, as he always is. So it's good to have those guys back and a bit of experience, and it's good to get a great win. And a big challenge next Friday night too here. Yeah, it's going to be massive. Obviously they're the benchmark, and it'll be a great challenge. Well done tonight. Cheers.
Thanks, Tim, with Daniel Giansiracusa, David Smorgon, the president of the Bulldogs. Yes, the last time they played St Kilda was an epic preliminary final. So Friday night footy at Etihad, it was a terrific win in the end for the Bulldogs. It was 18-13, 121 over the Crows, 10-12, 72.
Friday night football at the Dome. The Western Bulldogs win by 49 points and improve their record to 3-2. They trailed by a point at quarter time, led by 18 at half time, 44 and finally 49. Daniel Giansiracusa, 35 possessions. Barry Hall with 5 goals, quite outstanding on the forward line. Now, Nick, just looking at the situation coming in, we spoke about Brad Boyd, his absence. Matthew Boyd. Matthew Boyd. Yeah. Did we?
Brad Boyd was a good player too.
Oh, OK, I'm with you now. Of course, I thought... Thanks, Nick. We could have just gone along with that, you know, but they overcame his loss remarkably well, both of them, and shared the load.
He could have left a big hole. He's number 2 in contested possession in the league, number 1 in clearances in the league going into this weekend. So obviously he's a very good player, but Giansiracusa and Griffin, who at times have been sort of wingers, half forwards, half backs, rather than really in the guts of it all, they were sensational. They didn't really leave it to Cooney and Cross like they could have. Also, Moles was very good coming in.
Yeah, Moles 26 possessions. He'll be hard to put out for next week.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's that mature age rookie. We saw him during the NAB Cup. Really clean ball mover, I guess, if you like. And, you know, 26 touches would be hard-pressed to drop him.
I was just saying to Nick, he's very good low down, isn't he? He takes the ball well on the half volley, and he gives them some run.
Well, he's got that mature body that we're talking about. He's, you know, you can't replace, I guess, years in the system, and he's probably now looking at 3 or 4 years. So a valuable player for the Dogs tonight.
At times in the first term, Rodney Eade wasn't too happy, but certainly as the game wore on, of course, he got happier, and they had the big win. He's talking now with Tim Watson.
Rocket, first of all, most important things first, you got a bit of a soaking during that club song today.
I'm getting wet, Tim. Don't like getting wet. Might hurt my hair.
Now, they tell me you might have been a little bit grumpy during the week. Has it been a week of soul-searching at the Bulldogs?
No, not at all. No, I've been a lot grumpier than this, Tim. No, it was more about... we didn't do a big review of last week's game. I didn't think there was any much need. I mean, we were poor in a lot of areas, so it was more about just addressing where we're going forward. And we spoke about key areas. That was more about a positive about this week.
Why have you been poor over the last couple of weeks, do you think?
Why or what?
Yeah, why, yeah.
I wish I knew. Sigmund Freud. Yeah, that's all obviously psychologically. Whether, you know, we've had some form, but it's been very up and down. And last week, for whatever reason, we just didn't work hard enough. We know we needed to bring back the pressure skills that we had at the end of last year and we had in the NAB Cup. And that's just a mindset. And so we've spoken about that. And fortunately tonight, they fixed it.
What pleased you about tonight?
Oh, I thought the pressure. was terrific. I thought, at times they can certainly split you open, but I thought the players stuck at it extremely well, and their tackling was good. And there's 2s and 3s and 4s going at the man, which is great.
You made a couple of big calls at selection, or Will Minson in particular. You'd have to be happy with his replacement tonight, Jordan Roughead.
Yeah, I thought both young lads did well tonight. I thought young Ruffy did well. Probably should have kicked 2, and but his ruck was good.